Religion plays a key role in the Nigerian society. Despite being clearly classified as a secular state, religion influences our social, political, and cultural fabric. And despite its many positive impacts, religion has also led to intolerance and conflict. Today, we look at the interplay between religion and the state from the perspective of the Nigerian Christian Pilgrims Commission. My discussion is with the Executive Secretary of the Commission. I would like to welcome you to our program.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for honoring our invitation.
We thank God.
Yes. I would like to go straight to it. I would like you to help us understand better the work of the Commission. I know for a lot of Nigerians, once they hear Nigerian Pilgrims Commission, it appears traveling. But what else does the Commission do?
Well, we thank God for the grace given to me by Mr. President, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, to be in charge of the Nigerian Christian Pilgrims Commission at this time. But like you asked, beyond that, it's part of my responsibility to ensure that we have harmonious relationship between people of other faiths. And because of that, in Christian Association of Nigeria, which I happen to be the chairman in Lagos State at the moment, I'm also a member of the Nigeria Interreligious Council, NIREC. So we need to collaborate with ourselves to ensure that we live in peace. And that is why when I was a year in office, I visited my counterpart, the chairman of our commission, to pay homage and to let him know that we must work in tandem, we must work in synergy, so that we will project to the world that both Christian and Muslim must live together in peace. It's when you have peace that you can think of progress. So beyond pilgrimage is one of the responsibility given to me by Mr. President to live in peace, to arrange how we can live in peace in our great nation. Even within Christianity, there are 5 blocks in kind. And the 5 of them, we must bring together, they must relate together, and there must be harmonious relationship among people of other faith as well.
When you say work in harmony with the Muslim...
The Art Commission.
How does that...
Because, you know, the two of us are the only bodies in this government that has to do with God. Every other department have to do with one thing or the other. But for the two of us, we are expected to take people to the Holy Land, to go and pray. And if that is the reason of establishing the 2 commissions, then, you know, Nigeria is very religious and they are very sensitive when it comes to religion. So in terms of relating with government, we must be on the same page. If something is done to A, it has to be done to B, and there should be no discrimination. And that is what Mr. President stands for. He's not a religious bigot. Whatever he has done to the Art Commission, he will definitely do it for the Christian Pilgrims Commission, which he has done. As of today, he has done that to the 2 commissions.
So when you also, from what if I understand you correctly, outside having work to do outside the country, which is taking pilgrimage, you also have activities you do in country.
Definitely.
Definitely. Please help us.
Yes. You know, before you take people on pilgrimage, you must prepare for that operation. And that takes you to all the states in Nigeria. I must relate with the governors, let them know the essence of going on pilgrimage. And when we now have the people, there must be orientation for them as well. And you must prepare them for the journey. You must let them know that pilgrimage is no longer a jamboree. It's not for window shopping. It's not even for shopping. It's a spiritual journey. And when you go on pilgrimage, you are going to meet your Lord afresh and also to establish your faith or re-establish your faith in the scripture. That what you have been reading since you are born, John chapter 1 verse 1, Genesis chapter 1 verse 1, you can now see everything with your naked eyes. That these things were not fables. They were things that really happened at a point in time in the history of man. So where you see Bethlehem, where Jesus was born, then you leave that place, you go to Capernaum, where he lived, then you leave that place, you go to River Jordan, where he was baptized, then you leave that place, you go to the sepulchre where he was laid, and Golgotha, where he was crucified, then you will say, wow, so this thing really took place. It will strengthen your faith. And for instance, I've been there about 37 times now. So there's no way you want to tell me about Israel. I don't know where you are talking about. And I will tell people that each time you go, your faith is renewed. Your strength is renewed more than the eagles. Because every time I go, something special must happen. The last one I visited, something has happened again. Just last week, outstanding testimonies. I'm not talking of testimony you will say, and people will tell you, is that all? But the testimony you will give, I say, huh? And you tell them, I'm not done yet, I have another one. And when you give another one, that is God. And it's God that have designed it that way. Everybody should gather in Jerusalem and worship. And up to today, to tomorrow, it will remain. The same thing when you go to Hajj. You come back with testimonies. If you go with clean heart and you know what you have gone for. And when you come back, you will have journeyed with God. You will have met the Lord afresh. And the Lord will have given you grace to do more and make more exploit for Him.
Let me understand how this works. You've explained there's orientation. There's also the need for states to come. How do states?
Yes, every state has a welfare board. And some call their own also commission. But what is important?
Not for the welfare of citizens.
No, welfare board.
Yes.
Christian welfare board. Yes. Pilgrims Christian Welfare Board. I belong to it before now in Lagos State. And I've served in that board. And I know the work. When I was even doing it in Lagos State, I never knew that God was preparing me for a greater assignment. But I remember times we go to the airport. I don't leave the airport at times on the one ahead. Until the plane takes off, I will not leave. And I will have to drive myself back home. And people would have slept. My family would have slept. And they will welcome me. So when you will know that, then they will meet. Governor will appoint there. And they will be inaugurated. So they meet from time to time to prepare the pilgrims for the exercise. And after the preparation, whatever government want to give to them, they will give them. And the day of traveling, there are officers that will follow them. You have medical team, you have security team, you have for welfare as well. Then you have other people, spiritual team that will support them. You know, when you go to the holy site, there must be prayer. And you must tell people what happened, the significance of that site. So those are the things that they will do. And when they are done, they have the list of people government want to sponsor. We also have self-sponsor. They will not bring them here. We will look at them. We will go and interview them. We will screen them. It's not everybody that apply, I want to go to Jerusalem, that have opportunity of going. There are people who have other intention. During the screening exercise, some are screened out. Then those who are qualified will send their name for visa and will use group visa. Once they've been issued their visa, then they must travel within a stipulated time because Israelis have their own rules and regulations. So when they get it, we make sure they travel that time. Because if they don't, the validity of the visa is gone and they cannot go again until we reapply on their behalf. So that is what we do at this place. So nobody...
Or for the states.
For the states.
How do the states come in?
They will bring the list here. They will bring the list where they want to screen that, not the states. But there are some states who will first screen their own candidate before they present them to us. And when we now do it, and we know the number of people that have been screened, the number that are qualified, the number that has been disqualified, then that will be ratified. And we also have a board here that manages everything that we do. And we have representatives from each zones, and there is a chairman of the board
to monitor,
ensure everything is done in accordance with government policies.
So you mentioned that the states help you with the people that will, and I think when you were speaking, you touched on the fact that some people are self-sponsored.
Yes.
In terms of ratio, how many have you seen? Is it that we have?
No, usually states will be more than a sponsor. You know, if you have been sponsored by a state, let me give you an example. The governor of Imo State now is going to sponsor 1,000. He has done it before. He won the best governor of the year. But the one for Plateau State also competed with him this year. He sponsored 950. So the two of them will be presented an award that they have done well.
This is outside those sponsored by the state.
That's the states, apart from the ones sponsored by the federal government. You know, we call the one for federal government the consular. So those are the ones that Mr. President will give me authority. Executive Secretary, sponsor 1, 2, 3 people on behalf of the federal government. And what Mr. President have done for us was beyond our comprehension. He agreed that we should sponsor people all over this country. All the chairmen of CAN in Nigeria were sponsored. All the zonal chairmen of CAN were sponsored. All national officers of CAN were sponsored.
This is unusual.
Unusual, it has never happened. The number was unbelievable. But one good thing about it is everyone we sponsor who are on consular list return to Nigeria. And none of them give us any headache. That means that people we give those forms to on behalf of the federal government did a good job. And the people they also gave it to showed that indeed they are good citizens and reliable, dependable, wonderful people of God. That is why we do not regret of doing that.
So in a situation where it appears almost everyone that goes is sponsored, since those who do self-sponsorship are few, how do we ensure, or how would somebody who is not politically, inclined or affiliated get
benefits? That is what I've given, What about the people in CAN, the chairman of CAN? There's no way all of them will belong to one political party.
Yes.
But all of them were sponsored. So we don't look at faces. We look at the group that Mr. President have directed. This is the group I want. Then we will now call people concerned. Hey, whether you belong to APC, PDP, Labour Party, or any other party, we are not interested. This is what Mr. President directed. Give the forms to them. And when they now come during screening, during interaction, we let them know. We are not saying because we are giving you must come to APC or go to PDP. No. But that you are Nigeria and you are part of people in Nigeria. You have a right to go and you have been chosen. So, and also, there is other group we call the private operators, Christian private operators. The meaning is, we call it what do you call it? The acronym is CPO. So they also have their own people. But every one of them also benefited from the ideas of Mr. President because they will pay, but we subsidize their own payment as well. So all Nigerians are part of privilege and they enjoy from whatever benefits we have gotten.
One of the socioeconomic classes, a lot of people may fall into the upper class. I'm pretty sure that people from the lower class get some privilege or benefit from this sort of...
Thank you very much. I will use the members of House of Representatives, the Senate, as an example of that. When I started, they came, we had a meeting together, and I said to them, I don't have money to give to anybody. But Mr. President directed I should give forms to you. So instead of money, I will give you forms. You now go back to your constituency and give those forms to Christians, to sexing, to cleaners, to drivers in the churches, to pastors who are not of high class, but they are devoted. Spot those ones. It's going to hurt your own credibility. I'm not following you to your village, but those people. Give it to them. Let them benefit. People who will never thought of even entering an aeroplane. And we had that experience. When I saw one that Mr. Chairman of my committee did, I congratulated him when I came back. I said, you are a good man. Because some of the people he gave the forms to far away in Ondo State, he never knew that I knew them. And I saw the class. I said, this is a catechist of a Roman Catholic Church in Nidori. How did you locate him? He said, I just called people, I called leaders of the church, and they said, let's give to these. Drivers went, cleaners went, people who are serving in churches, sweepers, doing it free of charge. They are on our list because they will tell us their background. That is why we are happy today that we have gotten down to the roots. And there is no way God will not bless Nigeria for doing that. God will not bless Mr. President for doing that.
From what you're saying, it doesn't look like that is something you have made a rule.
No.
So how do we ensure that it becomes something that endures?
Thank you very much.
Yes,
in fact, what we are going to leave behind as a legacy in this place is to ensure that pilgrimage is organized in a way that will affect all. And as long as you have me on this seat, that is what will happen. Because already, before I got here, I've been doing it personally. At least I've encountered drivers of mine that have traveled to the Holy Land. Even the last driver that would have gone died December 26th. But I ensured that the wife went with me instead of the husband. And also, what we will do is to tell those people the category of people we want, the class of people we want, ensure that it's given to them. And when we don't have them, there are some who turn down. I need these people. Go and look for them. So if I've started it before getting here, so there is no way I will not implement. And apart from that, we want to leave a note behind that moving forward, this is what pilgrimage should look like in our great nation. And we are going to have a working document that people, whoever comes, just have to go into it and do it proper.
I would also like to understand, when you were speaking, you said there are 5 strands in the
CAN, Christian Association of Nigeria, blocks.
How do you balance blocks?
We call them blocks. Yes. Now, the 5 blocks in CAN, I give you quickly. You have the CSN, that is the Catholic Secretariat. You have the CCN, Christian Council of Nigeria. Then you have the CPFN, PFN, Christian Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria. Then the PFN, the Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria. Then you have the OAIC, Organization of Instituted African Churches. Then you have the Tekanekwa. So when you want to give to the 5 blocks...
Just before you go into that, all the churches, the denominations in Nigeria, they fall under this.
All. There is no church that must not belong to any of those 5. So when we want to give to them, once I know it's 5,
yes.
So I will give even number. I would give 10. If I give 10 slots to CAN, it means 2 slots goes to CSN, 2 to CCN, 2 to CPFN, PFN, 2 to AIC, then 2 to Tekanekwa. And if it is 50, it's 10. So that is the way we do it. And they have a president for each of the block. They have officers. They know how to distribute among themselves, and they know the people they will give. But if we give you this year, we saw the name we have brought, you can't repeat that name next year. I will turn it down. Because there are other people. Go and give to others who have not gone. The more the merrier. And that is the essence of giving privilege to people.
Okay, so now the whole point of the pilgrimage, if I understand it clearly from what you say, is actually spiritual.
It's spiritual, nothing more than that.
Good. So what steps have you taken or is being taken by the convention to ensure that the spiritual content is as it should be?
Thank you very much. That is why we have spiritual committee. And when you go, for instance, let's take for a badge. A badge is about 350. So in that badge, you have like 7 buses because you have about 50 in each bus. In each bus, you have a cleric who is the leader. Then you have somebody that will support him. We can call the cleric also the captain, who is in charge of spiritual activities throughout that program. That is for one bus. So the badge, when they go, every morning, before they embark on visiting all this, they must have a devotion, at least for 30 minutes. When they come back in the evening, there must be another devotion. When they enter the bus, there is a devotion. When they get to Holy Site, there will be prayers. And there are other ministers in the bus. So you give assignment to every one of them, and there is a group that will also coordinate everything they are doing. And they will give a report at the end of the exercise. So there is no way you want to go with us that you will not be spiritually rejuvenated, because it's full of spiritual activities from morning till evening. And when they want to leave, there will be period of ministration and anointing. There will be period of sharing of Holy Communion. And with all this, in fact, some group will tell you, we want to wait upon God today. You cannot believe it. We just concluded Lent.
And when you say wait, you mean?
The Lent, yeah, they will fast and pray. As the leader of the commission, when I went, it was Lent. And people thought because it's Lent and we are going to do a lot of exercise, I will break. Lent is not possible. It's been part of my life for more than 30 years. And I went about 3 times during Lent. And I never broke one of the fasting period. So, and it strengthens me the more. And there is a reward for it. Because when you wait upon God, Isaiah 40:31, he said, will renew your strength. Not even like the eagles, more than the eagles. And when you are running, you will not be tired. Is it not theological? Normally, when you run, you should be tired. And when you are walking, you will not be weary. So it depends on the distance. If it's long, you must be weary. But God said he will renew your strength. And you can only do it in Mark chapter 9. He said this will not happen except by prayer and fasting.
Let me take you to the point that I think a lot of people worry about, and I know was an issue. I don't know what is the status now. The issue of abscondment. What is the status and how you work in the case?
Thank you very much. It's a great challenge, and it's one of the things that we agree during our time that we are on zero tolerance when it comes to abscondment. And before people embark on the journey with us, we normally educate them and let them know the implication of running away in the Holy Land. Because you see a place where there is war. Since I was born, there is no day or year there will be no war in Israel and Gaza. And that is the way it will remain until Christ returns. If anybody is saying to you there will be a truce, there will be no period where there will be no fighting, it's a big lie.
You don't see all the peace effort?
No, just go and read the Revelation. The peace effort will work for some time, they will start again. It's God that made it that way, you know. It's only we don't pray that it will be on the high scale, but that there will be no rumors of war is not possible. Once there is none, then Christ is coming. That is what Revelation says. But having said that, when you go on pilgrimage with us, you won't hear a gunshot. If they tell you this is Israel, you say it's not possible. Where we read, where we saw on the screen, war, bombing, this, we don't experience it. It has never happened. At least for 37 times that I've been there. You can hear at times the plane moving, the warplane, and the sound, you won't know where you are. Because we don't go where you are fighting. Our own is to go and see Roto, where Jesus was born, where he was raised, you know. So that is the reason why we are saying that don't risk your life and expose yourself onto unnecessary trouble. Because if it is not Israel, if it were to be Russia, you have gone to Russia, it's good for Putin. He will send you to the war front. So why do you need to expose yourself to unnecessary danger? Go to Israel, return to Nigeria. Because by the time you touch the land, you are blessed already. Your generation is blessed. Your life is changed.
So it's advocacy that you are using?
More to deter people from running away. But there's also a penalty. If you run away, your guarantor will pay back to the commission $15,000. So before you run away, before somebody will append his signature on your behalf, he must read the clause that you are going to pay, and you can also go to jail. God will prosecute you. And because of that, there was somebody that ran away, came back. But we told the man that sign, okay, you know, you are going to jail. And that was the thing that we use. And they have to come back. So, because of that, you cannot believe it. This year is the year we recorded the lowest number of abscondments. Lowest. We travel with 5,000 and more. That is for the governments. When you compare with the CPU, you are looking at about 10,000. And you are talking of the one we have ascertained. I'm talking about maybe 5 people that have absconded. Before now, we know the number. So it is not because of our effort. It is the blessing of God.
I would like us to go into the conversation, and I would first like you to please respond to this. I think one of the criticism that Commission has received is in a society and in a country like ours that has a lot of challenges, the justification for pilgrimage, for people going on, yes, spiritual, yes, travels and all that, are these not funds that can be channeled to education, to infrastructure, this is one key criticism. I don't know what's your answer to that.
Well, I would say to Nigerians and the world that for government to support pilgrimage exercise is not a waste. And the reason is you will see that the only sustaining grace we have in our great nation today is prayer. And if prayer is the key, then we must continue to pray. Because we have used other means, it's not working. But with prayer, we are being sustained. If not for prayer, what has happened to Nigeria, half of it has not happened in some other countries. They are in disarray, they are in war, they are in turmoil. But because Nigerians are religious, Nigeria believe in prayer, and luckily for us at this moment, Mr. President believes in prayer. He believes in pilgrimage. Before he contested, he went to Lesser Hajj, Umrah, 3 times to go and pray. And he started this in Lagos. And that is why some of us came out during the time of campaign that Mr. President can fix Nigeria. And God is helping him. He's going to fix this country. Yes, he needs some more time to do it because of what has happened in the past. So because of that, there is nobody you will sponsor to the Holy Land. Our own is even a bit different from the Islamic code. When you go to the Holy Land, I don't need to tell you to pray for me. If you don't pray for me, your Creator will pray for me because I didn't intend to get anything from you for sending you. I just do it as the Lord has placed in my heart. So when you are there, nobody needs to tell you. By the time you are there, probably you've not entered the Airbus before. You now travel for 6 hours. You come down and you visited places. I think the man that did this for me, I should say 1 or 2 words of prayer for him. So that is why I would say to people, there is no waste in supporting pilgrimage. And God is the one that normally blesses his own people. And you know, the 10th of America goes to where? To the Holy Land as their tithes. So that means there is a blessing attached to that place. God has chosen that. And whether we support, whether we like, whether we accept or not, what God has done, he has done. And that is why when you go to the Holy Land, you are blessed. It's a blessed land.
Yeah, well, you know, some will say that the issue of prayer is what we do here. Nigeria, like you said, is a very religious country. Churches, mosques, everywhere. But now the percentage of people who go to the Holy Land, what's a direct correlation that they bring into the country that justifies the amount?
Oh, it's very simple. Do you know God's quota? God's quota is where 2 or 3 are gathered together. In my name, there I will be. And I will not only be there, but I will answer their prayers. And I will hearken to their cry. So the number, the percentage does not matter. The moments we are 2 or 3, God is already in our midst. And if God is in our midst, and by the time people come back, the blessings that we receive is enormous. You cannot see it with your naked eye, but you can see it in action. You can see it that despite all we are going through, things are changing. But do you know one interesting thing about Nigerians? When things are up, oh, it's hard, a lot of people will shout. When it's coming now, nobody mentions it. Even the one in the marketplace will not tell you, the rice we were buying 100,000 is now 52,000 naira. Is it our effort that brings that? It's God. It's prayer. Because we try our intellect, we try our wisdom, we try our power. It's not working. But God is saying Nigeria will work. And it's only God that owns this nation. And that is why we are going to remain one indivisible entity to the glory of God. And for me, for the Hajj Commission, we cannot say less. Because the 2 bodies have to do directly with God to support the government.
Let me steer you towards the issue of conflicts that we're having, because it ties directly to the coexistence that you touched on this now. It appears we continually have that problem. You have communal clashes, you have religious conflicts. Some days ago, in some part of the South, some people were traveling, hunters or whatever, and they were killed. It was bringing in religious sentiments. We have clashes in Plateau. So, as someone who has been in the field, this law, what is it that, what will you say appears to be the problem that we can't seem to go beyond the differences to do this coexistence that you speak?
Thank you very much. When you look at what is happening critically, number one, we have external influences coming to our great nation. And that is because of the change in climates in the Sahara. And a lot of people that are carrying arms from that head are infiltrating to our great nation. But because our border is porous, that is why nobody is checkmating anyone before they come in. And they are not profile. And because of that, arms are in wrong hands. And they don't have any job to do. And that is why we are saying to people, open grazing, we must review. Yes, we were living together before. Nobody, no herdsmen. How many of us, we grew up together in the village. I remember going to the village, going to our farm. We would meet them on the way. The cows we pass, we would pass. There are women. They used to sell all this medicine for malaria. The only thing that scares us is their head, the breathing of their, when you look at that, you are not used to it. But they don't harm you. We even buy this in the cow milk that they will boil. We buy it from them. But when do they turn to be carrying AK-47? When you now see them, you are scared, you run away, and they begin to shoot, they begin to kidnap. No. And they will not tell you it's because of religion. The Boko Haram is because of religion. Which religion? Is it Christianity that has you to kill? Is it Islam that has you to kill? No. I studied comparative religion in the university to my 3rd degree. There is no religion that teaches violence. There is no religion that teaches extremism. The only one that you can do is to use the 11th commandment. It's only 10 we have. 11th commandment is to do your own way. You now color it and say it's God. Which God? That has to kill. Stated in the Mosaic law, thou shalt not kill. In the Holy Quran, the Prophet told everybody, don't persecute the people of the book, the Christian. So why are you losing religion if you see anybody killing another person? He says he's fighting for religion is a lie. Can you fight for God? Who are you to fight for God? God is more than able to fight for himself. So why must you kill your brother or your sister because of religion? But you discover you don't find such in the Southwest. Because we're interwoven, we're intertwined, we're interrelated. My own grandmother, Matana, was a Muslim and Elijah. And I would have gone to Mecca before I became a pastor. Because the old woman told me, if you can fast the Ramadan, I will take you to Mecca. Ramadan, not to eat in the afternoon. Let's go. I did it 30 days at the age of 13. And the woman would have taken me, but disqualified me because of my age. I never knew God was preparing me for a greater assignment. So there is no reason. And that is why we plead with people, drop your arms. Let us dialogue. There is no war that is won in the battlefield. You come to the table. So if we know we are going to end the war at the table, why do we go to the field in the first instance? So anyone claiming that is fighting for God in the name of religion is not correct.
But we also have this sort of closely entwined relationships, even in the north. At the Adamawa State, you have lots. Many. So, but we still have these conflicts. And
I would tell...
And then you don't understand.
No. I will tell you the one that is happening in the north. We must be sincere with ourselves. The Fulanis and the Hausas, they are different human beings. A lot of people try to bring them together. No. Everybody know who a Fulani man is. Everybody know who an Hausa man is. And an Hausa man and Fulani these days, They don't believe they should be called one. Separate us, let us know our identity. There are people who are herdsmen. Most herdsmen are Fulani. There are some Hausa who are also into that business now. But majorly, everybody knows is Fulani and they have their own language. So what we need to do is to appeal to our brothers and sisters. How can you go to somebody's community and say you want to take over? That you have a right to take over their community. and you must take it over by force. Why? What do you want to achieve in doing that? So that is the thing we must let people know. That look, even the life you have is not your own. And how many years do you want to stay or not? That you'll be fighting today. When you want to pray, you drop the sword. After prayer, you pick it up again.
No, but are you now saying that this is not actually a religious thing? It's more of a maybe tribal or ethnic?
It is the two. It is the two. You have religious war and you also have tribal war going on. It is the two. Because if it's not now, another thing you must also look at, when people are killed in a village, how do you identify whether they are Christian or Muslim? You know, there are some places they will go to, they will burn down everywhere. I cannot believe that the 100% of people are all Christian. And I can't believe everybody in that village are Muslim. No. So that is why we are saying some people are sleeping, children, slaughter them, pregnant women, cutting their belly, bringing out the fetus.
Yeah, but there's a question we're asking now. What's the solution? No, you cannot understand it. How do you then address it? What's the advice?
The solution for me is for our security apparatus to be more vigilant and to be more proactive, not to be defensive, not to be on the defensive side. Before they even hatch the plan, if you can nab them, they should be nabbed. And anyone that wants to destroy Nigeria must also be eliminated. Nigeria must move forward. And everybody must support the effort of security people. And also, when you see something, you say something. Don't keep quiet. Because security need information. If they don't have information, but those people are living in our environment. If you see a strange movement in your locality, say it out. Let people know. I saw some people. I was listening to something before you came in Oyo State. They saw a trailer loaded with ammunitions, bicycles, and when they stopped them, all those boys came out of the cow. They were with cows, and they ran into the bush. So those people will have wreaked havoc if they've not been caught. So let everybody be more vigilant, and God will deliver our great nation.
Do you think we need to do more to, bring us together across the country? Because we've lived together for so long. The issue, and I know this, they would be saying it about live it together in peace, let's play down religious divide, but it does not appear to be. What can be done to, Nigeria is a secular state, but it appears this rivalry.
I think the first thing is to be tolerant. Let us tolerate one another.
No, but therefore,
practice. Yes,
personal. That's what can the state. No, because the state has a role to move.
The state must enforce discipline on all. And if you are caught, you go for it. Because most of them have come, they have gone back. Because they are used to it. It's cheap money. When they kidnap somebody, the ransom is 10 million, 100 million, 50 million. How many years will they work before they can get such an amount? So it's part of what they believe they should live on for the rest of their life. So let there be understanding. Let there be profiling. Let's tighten up our border. And let everyone that is there do the job. Because if you think it's not affecting you, one day it's going to affect that person. As you know, be like the story of a king. Anytime a wild animal comes into the town, it will snatch somebody's child. And when people say trouble has come, the king will say trouble has gone. After 7 days, the thing came and took the prince. And people come to the palace, trouble has come. King said, trouble is staying. No, trouble has. He said, no, he has not gone. He's here now. We have to address it immediately. So we must do it. All hands must be on the deck. And we must support the government. The government cannot do it alone unless we are deceiving ourselves. Nigeria is so big. And when you look at our forest, so vast, everyone must do his own. And also, whatever government can do to improve on surveillance has to be done so that we can have a better Nigeria.
Let me take it back to the commission. one interesting part for me, I don't know, how many young people do you usually see at pilgrimage?
Oh, there was a time we organized pilgrimage for young people.
Oh, just for you?
For young people.
Wow.
And they were taken and they came back. So we are planning even to do that now. We are planning with children of God who are in universities, children who are studying agricultural science and other things, so that we can take them out. But the fear is abscondments. Young people want to explore, but we are saying to them, you can do that at your own time. You don't need to do it during pilgrimage exercise. And I use my life for them as an example. I started going, they can travel out, not abscond, I started going to the Holy Land 25 years ago. What was my age? I'm just 57 now. You can imagine, at the age of 30-something, I started going. But I never absconded. And that time, I never had opportunity of going to the United States, UK, other places. But today, I cannot even remember the visa that is not in my passport. When the time comes, you will go. There was a time I wanted to go and study abroad, 1999 to 2000, 2001. I was denied visa 3 times in the American embassy. Today, I have 5 years. Britain, I have 10. Canada, I have 10. So, what is the problem? But go at the right time and go as an honorable citizen of Nigeria, and nobody can castigate you. The day I was denied in American embassy at Elege Christian, I told the lady, can I have my passport? Sir, why now? I said, what do you mean? Is it your own? You said, I can't enter your country. Bring my passport now. But I can assure you, the day I will go, if you are still here, you are the one that will say yes. So it's God that is saying, no, it's not you. So you don't believe it. When I was denied, after 2 weeks, I knew the reason why God denied that I should not go. Because a lot of things happened in my ministry that time. And what God has now done in my ministry today showed the reason. If I have gone to America, what connection will I have to any governor? What connection will I have to ministers? What connection will I have in the villa? Will I be able to go to White House to go and minister to them? No. I will remain at a level they will decide for me that I can never go above. But God knows that I'll be more relevant in my great nation than staying abroad. So that abroad now I can go at any time at my will.
But let me take you back to the issue of the youth.
Yes.
What's your take on how young people and religion are going now?
Yes, for now, I would say that our young people are lackadaisical about religion. And a lot of influences have come to play in their life. Social media, their exposure, contextualization, and they believe that it's not a big deal, whether you know God or not. But I say to them, it is a big deal. Whatever you see now, they are just a failure of the day. If you know God and the power in His resurrection, that is what will sustain you. Because if you don't have God, you have nothing. And it's only a fool that says in his heart that there is no God. So forget contextualization. Forget civilization. Forget any exposure that you can have. You need God in your life. Because without God, you can do nothing. So, and it is not on your phone that you worship. You must go to the church. It's not on your phone where you get to church, you'll be reading the Bible. It's a lie. 70% are not reading Bible. They are watching a number of things, a number of sites, even during service. And when you look at young people in the church, everybody is to phone. Pastor is preaching, but they are looking at the phone. There is no holy phone. You only have Holy Bible. So that is why we discourage the use of phone in our church. Come with the hard copy of the scripture. Open it. Behave like a Berean Christian. After teaching them, they go back home, they check, and they ensure that what is being taught is scriptural. And don't regard your Geo as God. Geo is not God. He's a human being like you. That Geo said, who is that Geo? What does God say about that particular thing? On it you must stand. So know your faith and stand on your faith.
Let me take you to now your own stewardship. You've spent 1 year, more than 1 year,
more than 1 year now.
You're born in 1 year now. How has your tenure been? And what would you say has been your most difficult challenge?
Oh, thank you very much. It's very interesting. Last year when I got here, the commission was at a very low head because of what I met on ground. But unfortunately, I was a member of the dissolved board that worked with the last administration. So that afforded me the opportunity to know, to have a pre-knowledge of what I'm coming to face. But I never give up. And I believe there is nothing that is impossible with God. So we pick up the challenges. I didn't start on zero. I started on -0. Because the commission was owing about 3.8 billion to service providers, air carriers, tour operators, and also our people in Israel, the grand handlers. So if you are owing, how do you want to do another operation? So there was no money. The morale of staff, very low. And I said, it is a challenge, and we have to do it together. A tree can never make a forest. So what we've started to do, number one, is to go to God. And it was done in lengths. So we went to God in prayer with fasting, and you not believe God renew our strength. And I also approached Mr. President that the assignment you are giving me, I'm having a lot of challenges. And he said, God will do it. So when he supported the Art Commission and subsidized their package, I also wrote my own letter. And Mr. President honored it. And he supported us. So we started moving forward. And from there, we were able to pay our debts. Because if you don't pay the debt, you can't start.
So you've cleared the 3.
We are not owing anything anymore. So I can walk tour in Israel. And I can walk in the airplane, sit down comfortably. Because I'm not owing you. And what we also did was to pay now in advance. Before you do operation for me, I've given you 80% of your charges. So how will I now bring my people, you not take them serious? I will not treat them well. I'm not owing you. And the moment you conclude there is a reconciliation, you have the remaining 20%. So everybody is happy now that no, NCPC is coming alive. The staffs who don't go before to do their work, they now have privilege. And it's not only 1, 2, 3. All were able to make the journey. And they got their stakeholder. So everybody is happy. And of course, board members were also happy. They got what they should have. And the operator, and what we agree at our slogan is service and satisfaction. And what do we mean? We want to render good services to you. We want you to be satisfied. Mr. President satisfied. Board members satisfied. The Grand Islands satisfied. Air carrier satisfied. Nigeria satisfied. Israel satisfied. And the Israeli government is ever grateful to us. The only nation that came to Israel during this trying moment is Nigeria. No other country have done it. It's on record. And the report is with the Prime Minister. Ambassador of Israel did a great job. We have gone for reconciliation. They were all happy with Nigeria. And for them, Nigeria stood with them at the trying moment.
You've been someone that's been in the field for a long time. You've obviously seen different patterns over the years. Like, global situation is changing, and it gets more interesting with even the coming of the US president and some of the global shifts. What do you see 10 years from now? How do you see this pilgrimage to this whole condition? How do you see it operating? And how do you look at the effects of some of these factors?
Well, in another 10 years, the commission will be more stronger with the foundation we have laid. And I hope whoever will succeed me will follow suit. Because it is one thing to start well, it's another thing to end good and strong. Because if you have a vision, there will be a mission to accomplish it. But if anybody comes without a vision, there will be no mission. So what we will try to do is to have a template that people will follow. And for you to have the template, it has to be implemented to the letter. When people go, they must be satisfied. And you must give a selfless service. And that's what I tell people. That look, before you think of getting anything, you do your bits. And let people see that you have done your best. There is no way you work for God and God will not bless you. So if people were able to follow the procedure, the procurement acts, and there is no discrimination, there is no hide and seek. You are open, everybody can see, transparent, and nobody can fault whatever you have done. Then you are getting somewhere. And that is what we started with. So with that, with God on our side, we should be able to move forward.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Now, I believe the debate will continue on some of the issues we have discussed here, but you heard the position of my guest. What is your own position? You can join the discussion online through our social media handles and the email address on the screen. And if you want to watch the episode again or any of our past episodes, go to our YouTube channel, search for Newsnight on the playlist, and take your pick. Well, thanks for spending your time with us. Bye.